I fell asleep in IKEA and woke up after the store closed. I thought I was alone until I heard footsteps coming from the showroom. I woke up in complete darkness. My phone showed 11:47 p.m., 23 missed calls. The store had closed 4 hours ago. For a moment, I didn't understand where I was. The ceiling was too high. The smell was wrong. Sawdust and cinnamon, like those candles they sell in the marketplace section. Then I remembered. IKEA, the Björkuden bed display. I'd told my husband I'd just rest my eyes while he finished shopping. That was at 6:30 p.m. Now it was almost midnight, and I was locked inside a 300,000 square foot furniture store. 8 months pregnant, alone. I'd been exhausted for weeks. Third trimester fatigue is no joke. My feet were swollen, my back ached constantly, and I hadn't slept more than 3 hours at a stretch since the baby started doing gymnastics on my bladder at 4 a.m. every single night. But we needed nursery furniture. The baby was coming in 5 weeks, and we had nothing. No crib, no changing table, no dresser, just an empty room with pale yellow walls and a rocking chair my mother-in-law had donated from her attic. My husband David suggested IKEA. We can get everything in one trip. In and out, 2 hours max. Famous last words. We arrived at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. The place was packed. Families with screaming children, couples arguing over color schemes, college students loading up on Kallax shelves and lac tables. We made it through the showroom in an hour, marking items on those little paper slips they give you. David was in his element. He'd researched every piece, knew exactly what we needed, had a list organized by department. I was barely vertical. By the time we hit the bedroom section, I couldn't take another step. Babe, I need to sit down. David looked concerned. You okay? Do you need water? I just need to rest for a minute. My feet are killing me. The Björkuden bed display was right there, king-sized, perfectly made with those crisp white sheets they use to make everything look inviting. Why don't you sit here while I grab the last few things? David said. I'll be quick. 20 minutes, tops. Just going to close my eyes for a second. He kissed my forehead and disappeared into the marketplace. I lay down on the display bed, and I was gone. I don't know how they missed me. IKEA does a sweep before closing. Employees walk through every section, checking for stragglers. They're supposed to look behind furniture, in display closets. Anywhere a customer might have wandered, they missed me. Maybe the pregnancy made me hard to spot. I'd curled up on my side facing the wall, practically invisible under the decorative throw pillows. Maybe the employee who checked the bedroom section was rushing to get home. Maybe they just didn't look carefully enough. Whatever the reason, they left me there, locked in, alone. I tried the main entrance first. Locked. Heavy glass doors that wouldn't budge. The emergency exits were alarmed. Red signs warning that opening them would trigger an immediate security response. I wasn't sure if that meant real security would show up, or just loud noises that would wake no one. My phone had 4% battery. I called David with shaking hands. Babe, I'm locked in IKEA. What? His voice was panicked. How is that possible? They do a sweep before closing. I don't know. I fell asleep and now I'm trapped. I'm calling the police right now. Stay calm. I'll be there as soon as the call dropped. 2% battery. I tried to conserve power, typed out a quick text with the store address. Hit send. Watch the spinning wheel. Message delivered. I sat down on a Kallax shelf unit and waited. That's when I heard it. Footsteps. Coming from the living room section. My heart stuttered. Hello? I called out. Is someone there? Silence. Then more footsteps. Closer. Deliberate. Not the sound of someone who'd been accidentally locked in. The sound of someone who knew exactly where they were going. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. Pregnant women aren't exactly built for fight or flight. My center of gravity was shot. My lungs were compressed by a 7-pound baby pressing against my diaphragm. Running was basically out of the question. But hiding I could do. I ducked behind a massive wardrobe display. The pack system, with its mirrored doors and deep interior. I squeezed into the corner where the shadow was darkest and tried to control my breathing. A flashlight beam swept across the room. Someone was searching the store. I watched the light move methodically through the bedroom section. It lingered on the Björkuden bed where I'd been sleeping, swept over the pillows I'd disturbed, moved on. The footsteps came closer. I pressed my hand over my mouth to muffle my breathing. My baby kicked, hard, as if she could sense the danger. Not now, I thought. Please, not now. The flashlight swept past my hiding spot, kept moving. The footsteps receded. I waited. 30 seconds. A minute. 2. Then I started to move. I crawled between furniture displays, staying low. My belly made it impossible to move quietly. Every shift in position seemed to echo through the cavernous space. Every creak of the display floors sounded like an alarm. The footsteps kept coming, methodical, patient. He was searching systematically, section by section, display by display. I made it to the kitchen section, rows of mock kitchens with their gleaming appliances and perfectly organized cabinets. I needed a weapon. Grabbed a legitimate cutting board, plastic, probably useless against anything more threatening than a cucumber. Found a cast iron senior pan. Better, heavier. I know you're in here. The voice came from somewhere behind me. Male, deep, terrifyingly calm. The motion sensors picked you up 20 minutes ago. Just come out. This doesn't have to be difficult. Motion sensors. He knew where I was. The IKEA security system had motion detectors throughout the store. I remembered reading about it on one of those fun facts about IKEA articles. They tracked movement after hours, sent alerts to security. But security should have been calling the police. Security should have been announcing themselves over the intercom. Security should have been helping me. This man was hunting me. I had to think, had to plan. My phone was dead. No way to call for help. No way to know if the police were coming or how long it would take. I needed to buy time. I grabbed pots, pans, anything that would make noise, loaded my arms with metal and plastic. Then I threw them, started hurling objects in random directions. Crashes echoed through the empty store, metal clanging, glass shattering, chaos. The footsteps hesitated. While he was distracted, I ran, waddled, really. 8 months pregnant, sprinting through IKEA at midnight, my belly swaying, my lungs burning, my legs screaming. I made it to the warehouse section. The warehouse was massive, miles of industrial shelving, towers of flat-pack furniture stacked to the ceiling, infinite hiding spots in the maze of cardboard and plastic wrap. I squeezed between 2 Billy bookcases and waited. My phone buzzed. I'd forgotten. It wasn't completely dead. 1% battery, 1 bar of signal, a text notification from David. Police on the way. ETA 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I just had to survive 10 minutes. The footsteps entered the warehouse. This is private property. The voice was closer now, echoing off the metal shelving. You're trespassing. Was this guy security? He didn't sound like security. I just want to talk, that's all. Just come out and we'll sort this out. His voice was getting closer. I could hear his breathing now. Slow, controlled. Then I saw him. He walked past my aisle, flashlight sweeping the shelves. His uniform, IKEA security badge. But there was something wrong. His hands. He was wearing gloves, black latex gloves, and he wasn't calling for backup. Real security would have called the police themselves. Real security would have announced themselves over the intercom. Real security would not be prowling the warehouse at midnight wearing surgical gloves. This man was not here to help me. I grabbed my phone, 1% battery, maybe 30 seconds of recording time. I held it up, hit record, captured his face in the flashlight glow, his badge number, his gloves. If something happened to me, there would be evidence. If something happened to me, David would know who did it. I see you. He was 10 feet away, standing at the end of my aisle, smiling. There's no point in running. The police aren't coming. I disabled the alarm system 20 minutes ago. By the time anyone realizes something's wrong, we'll be long gone. He took a step closer. I've been waiting for someone like you, someone alone, someone who couldn't fight back. Another step. This store has 1,000 places to hide. Nobody will find you until morning. I screamed, loud as I could, sound echoing through the warehouse, bouncing off metal shelves, filling the space with terror. He lunged. I threw the senior pan at his face. Cast iron, 8 pounds of it spinning through the air. It connected. He staggered, swore, blood from his forehead. I ran, made it 50 feet before my legs gave out, pain shooting through my abdomen. Sharp, rhythmic, contractions. Not now. Please, not now. I collapsed against a pallet of Hemnes dressers, clutching my stomach, breathing through the pain. The footsteps were coming again, slower now. He was hurt, but he was still coming. Then I heard it. Sirens, getting louder. The man froze. I watched him through the shelving, watched his expression shift from predator to prey. He looked toward the entrance, back at me, made a decision. He ran the other direction, disappeared into the darkness of the warehouse, toward the loading docks at the back of the building. The police found me collapsed against the dresser pallet, clutching my stomach. Officer Patricia Reyes, 12 years on the force, was the first through the door. Ma'am, are you hurt? Is the baby okay? He went that way. I pointed toward the loading docks. He was chasing me. He had gloves. He said the police weren't coming. She radioed for backup. They found him trying to exit through a loading dock at the back of the building. Caught him halfway through the door. His name was Marcus Webb, 34 years old. He'd worked security at a different store, a home improvement warehouse 3 miles away. He had access to security codes through an industry-wide system that shared protocols between retail locations. Detective Sarah Okonkwo, 14 years with the department, interviewed me at the hospital the next morning. He'd been planning this for months, she explained. We found evidence on his computer. He'd been monitoring security patterns at multiple stores, looking for vulnerabilities. IKEA's closing sweep was inconsistent, sometimes thorough, sometimes not. He was waiting for someone to get trapped. How did he know I was there? Motion sensors. The store's security system sends alerts to a monitoring service. He'd hacked into the feed. He saw you moving around after hours and came in through a service entrance he'd scoped out weeks ago. Was I the first? Detective Okonkwo hesitated. We're looking into similar incidents at other locations. Nothing confirmed yet, but his search history suggests he'd been practicing. Marcus Webb had a history. Multiple assault charges over the past decade. One attempted kidnapping that had been pleaded down to unlawful restraint. A pattern of stalking that had earned him restraining orders from 3 different women. He'd served 18 months for the kidnapping charge. Got out 2 years ago. Started working security at retail stores. Jobs that gave him access to empty buildings, security systems, and vulnerable people. The prosecutor, ADA Jennifer Walsh, 20 years with the district attorney's office, laid out the charges. Attempted kidnapping, stalking, breaking and entering, assault with intent to cause bodily harm, unlawful imprisonment. The video you recorded was crucial, she told me. It established premeditation. He disabled the alarm system before approaching you, which proves this wasn't opportunistic. What's he looking at? 15 to 25 years, maybe more. more if we can connect him to other incidents. The trial was 6 months later. I testified by video link. Grace was 3 months old by then, and I couldn't bring myself to be in the same room as Marcus Webb. My testimony took 2 hours. The video I'd recorded with my dying phone played for the jury. His face, his badge number, his gloves, his words. "I've been waiting for someone like you." The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Marcus Webb was sentenced to 22 years in state prison. No possibility of parole for 15. Judge Patricia Hernandez, 18 years on the bench, delivered the sentence. "Mr. Webb, you exploited a position of trust to prey on vulnerable individuals. You planned your attack methodically. You targeted a pregnant woman who posed no threat to you and had no means of escape." She paused. "The only reason this woman is alive today is because she was smart, resourceful, and brave. She recorded evidence when she could have hidden. She fought back when she could have surrendered. She survived when you intended for her not to." The gavel came down. 22 years. IKEA settled out of court. Their lawyers reached out 3 weeks after the incident. A woman named Margaret Chen, senior counsel for the company, called me directly. "Ms. Patterson, I want to express our deepest apologies for what happened to you. This was an unacceptable failure of our security protocols. Your employee missed me during the closing sweep. Yes, we've reviewed the footage. The employee assigned to that section spent less than 2 minutes checking a space that should have taken 10. They've been terminated. And the motion sensor alerts? Someone saw me moving around and didn't call the police? Silence. The monitoring service has also been terminated. We're implementing a new protocol with direct police notification for any after-hours movement. They offered a settlement. Enough to cover Grace's college education, and then some. Enough to make sure we'd never have to worry about money for a long time. I signed. My daughter was born 3 weeks after the incident. Healthy, perfect. 7 pounds, 4 ounces, with her father's dark hair and my stubbornness. I named her Grace. Not after a piece of furniture, though the thought crossed my mind. I named her Grace because that's what saved us that night. Grace. Undeserved mercy. The luck of sirens arriving exactly when they did. I've never gone back to IKEA, not even during business hours, not even with David, not even when Grace needs a new bookshelf or we need extra storage for the basement. Some stores have good deals and clever furniture names. Others have nightmares hiding in the showroom, waiting for someone to make a mistake. I'll order online from now on, delivery only. Assembly instructions included. My husband assembled the nursery furniture himself. All IKEA, ironically. The Sunvik crib, the Hemnes dresser, the Kallax shelving unit for books and toys. He says it's his way of reclaiming the brand, proving that what happened to me doesn't define our family. I appreciate the gesture. But I still can't look at the furniture without remembering. I check the locks every night now. Front door, back door, windows, the baby's room, our room. I check them twice, sometimes 3 times. David says I have PTSD. The therapist I see, Dr. Rebecca Martinez, 15 years specializing in trauma, agrees. Hypervigilance is a common response to what you experienced, she tells me. Your brain learned that you weren't safe and now it's trying to protect you by staying constantly alert. How do I make it stop? You don't exactly. You learn to manage it, to recognize when the fear is rational and when it's your trauma talking. Does it ever get better? With time, with work, with support. Grace sleeps peacefully. She doesn't know how close we came to never meeting. Doesn't know that her mother spent 37 minutes hiding in a furniture warehouse while a predator hunted her through the aisles. She just knows the warmth of her crib, the sound of her father's voice reading bedtime stories, the safety of a home where all the doors are locked. I plan to keep it that way. Sometimes I think about the other women, the ones Marcus Webb might have hurt before me, the ones he was practicing on, as Detective Okonkwo put it. The investigation is ongoing. 2 other incidents at different stores are being re-examined. Women who reported feeling watched or followed during late-night shopping hours. One who'd found her car vandalized in a store parking lot after closing. Maybe they'll find more evidence. Maybe they won't. But at least he's locked up now. At least he can't hurt anyone else for the next 15 years. At least my video, recorded with 1% battery on a dying phone, helped put him away. I fell asleep in IKEA and woke up after the store closed. I thought I was alone until I heard footsteps coming from the showroom. For 37 minutes, I was hunted through a furniture store by a man who'd been planning that night for months. I survived because I was smart, because I was lucky, because the police arrived exactly when I needed them. Grace is sleeping in her Sundvik crib now. The one David assembled by himself, following the cartoon instructions with focused determination. She's peaceful, perfect, completely unaware of the story she's already part of, and I'm going to keep her that way. Safe, loved, protected. No matter how many locks I have to check, no matter how many nights I lie awake listening for footsteps, she's worth every moment of vigilance, every moment of fear, every moment of remembering what almost happened in the darkness of a furniture store. I close my eyes now, and I still hear it sometimes. I know you're in here. Just come out. This doesn't have to be difficult. I've been waiting for someone like you. I hear it, and then I hear Grace breathing in the next room. And the fear fades. Because I survived. Because we survived. Because some nightmares end with the sun coming up. 22 years. That's how long Marcus Webb will spend thinking about the pregnant woman who fought back. The one who threw a cast iron pan at his face. The one who recorded his confession on a dying phone. 22 years to remember what he did. 22 years to regret getting caught. I fell asleep in IKEA. I woke up in a nightmare. But I walked out alive, and I'm never closing my eyes in a public place again.